Alright, and now we are moving in to the second set. Bakuryu versus Ace. High level ZVZ action. Should be good stuff. And no, I don't have to move that. I'm getting better about imagining where the APM counter is going to be and then putting it a little bit below. Alright. So, bottom position as the orange Zerg, we have the mustache himself, Bakuryu. And in the right position, see, Bakuryu is 6 o'clock, Ace is 3 o'clock. We have Ace of Central Europe, the two-time ISL finalist. Obviously, got to be a high caliber player to be able to do that. Has been a little bit more inactive, for a stretch there, but he's back since then. He's back, looking pretty dang strong. And since I got rid of that annoying little bubble, we can clearly see that Ace is Zerg and in 3 o'clock position and brown, if you could not already determine that by the minimap. Alright. Bakuryu 9 pool. Ace not 9 pool. 9 pool is strong on this map. Icarus has some of the closest spawning positions in all of StarCraft. And here we go. Okay. Has some of the closest spawning positions in all of StarCraft. Meaning that we are, on some other maps, you have a real uphill climb to go, but it's possible. It is possible to hold off hold off their 9 pool with your 12 edge. On this map, it's not. You just lose the game. They're just there too damn fast. You might not even have enough time to get the lings out before the hatchery is killed. So, Bakuryu, taking advantage of that, go 9 pool. Ace, thinking that 9 pool is really strong on this map, going to still pick the build that counters it. Going to go for a 12 pool. So his lings won't quite be out. Will they? I don't know if no, okay. The lings will have hatched before Bakuryu gets his lings attacking the hatchery, but they're certainly going to get some shots off on the hatchery before Ace has a chance to run down the ramp. Or not? Wow, that is some very close timing. Okay, thank you, Bakuryu, for letting me not be a liar and actually getting some shots off before all of the lings come down the ramp. We have Ace pulling 4 drones. Ace really feeling uncomfortable here. 2 is customary, 3 if you want to be safe, but 4, Ace is certainly fearing Bakuryu's early lings right now. Either that, or he just does not fear Bakuryu's mid to late game at all. Which is certainly not the case, as Bakuryu has a very strong mid to late game. No, he is just very scared of Bakuryu's early lings. Trying to go for a drone snipe there, only managing to get 1 though. They were in a position it looked like to get a lot more than that. And, man, you see now why Ace pulling so many drones. He just has so many fewer lings than Bakuryu. Now with 2 drones down, man, this is hard. The hatchery's less than half health, or no, it's slightly more than half health. Excuse me, slightly more than half health. But it looks like Ace's second hatchery finally is enough to equalize, and finally enough to equalize the odds as the Spire has started from Bakuryu, and Ace has stopped mining gas at just 28? Okay. Mining a little bit of gas here, but very clearly, Ace is going for spores. That is very apparent at this point. Bakuryu going in for another attack? That was a risky move. It was a risky move by Bakuryu. He pulled back his lings, hoped that Ace would stop making lings and focus on economy, and then go in anyway. But Ace, not to be fooled by Bakuryu, did continue with the ling production, and it was fine. It was fine for Bakuryu. Normally what happens is Bakuryu pulls back with the lings, and then defends against Ace, because presumably Ace is just going to make it a lot of lings and try to overwhelm Bakuryu. But when Ace didn't attack, Bakuryu got really suspicious, so he had to go attack there. Well, he didn't necessarily have to attack, he had to go and see the link count. He had to see the link count at least. He decided to commit to the attack. Meh, it was about an even trade. Not terrible. So, Mutalisks are on the way, and Ace is going to have his spore colonies up in time. That Evo chamber is not protected by the spore. Certainly not. This spore colony should cover the lair. Pretty sure that covers the lair. And going to cover the spawning pool, obviously. Pretty sure covers the extractor as well. But that Evo chamber, the Mutalisks up here, no, it's dead. Mutalisks going in for some drone kills at first. Just going to do the harass here. Whoa, that's not the... Where's the Mutalisk control group? Bakuryu! You... Is he really... Oh, there we go. I was looking at Ace's control groups. That makes more sense. Only has 4. A little bit of a counterattack by Ace with some lings. Really shouldn't be able to get very much, but... Wow, apparently they already got some. They already got some, with Bakuryu only having 7 drones. Yeah, I guess he lost a few to these lings coming in. They don't have any kills. Oh. Alright. So Bakuryu's moving in. With a little bit of an increase in the Mutalisk numbers, a smart move by Ace to throw down a second spore colony. When the Mutalisks get up to a high enough number, you can start to just tank the spore shots and kill off the drones fast enough that it's worth it. But once there's 2 spore colonies is just too much. I still think that... where'd the Mutalisks go? I still think that Evo chamber is vulnerable. You kill it off... Oh, wow, that Spire is very vulnerable. Bakuryu, you gotta kill that Spire, bro. Okay, he can't see the Spire yet. He doesn't know that that's the most ridiculously vulnerable Spire I've ever seen in my life. But, yeah. Kill it. Bakuryu, if you fly here right now, like, you can kill it before you get Scourge out. No, he's not going to. Oh, man. Oh, that's just painful. He can't know about it. He absolutely cannot, because I refuse to believe that Bakuryu would not just go and kill that thing if he knew. But he has no vision of it. He has no vision of it. There's no way he could have known that Ace didn't just place it here. Or, better yet, here. Maybe here. Right here. So many good places for the Spire. That's not one of them. It's actually kind of a really bad place for the Spire. Alright. Alright. So, Bakuryu's finally expanding. Kind of have to at this point. He's not going to be able to penetrate this now. Too many spore colonies up. And by the time that he could get enough Mutalisks for there to deal with the spore... Oh, god dang it, Bakuryu. Of all the vulnerable buildings, you go for it. You go after the extractor, which is not vulnerable at all. The Spire isn't that vulnerable anymore because the Mutalisks can't actually get in there. I mean, there's a little nest made by the spore colonies, so the Mutalisks have to go up and around to get back there, and then he has to deal with Ace's Mutalisks, and then if he wants to retreat, it won't work out. All of his stuff will die, so it's not very vulnerable anymore. Alright. So, found some links to pick off. Can get 3 of them. Opportunity to kill 3 lings. Why not? Man, Ace, that extractor was not protected enough by 2 spore colonies. Going to need a 3rd spore colony. 4th spore colony for the base, but 3rd spore colony just to protect the extractor. Wow. Ace is really trying to get cheeky with those lings. And I like it. I like just the little attempts there. Not a whole lot else he can do right here, and ooh, he's going to go after the hatchery. Can he kill that hatchery before getting picked off by all the mutalisks? Not quite. Not quite, but getting it dangerously low. Getting it dangerously low. We'll have to keep an eye on that hatchery. It's going to be like another 5 minutes before it can recover to full health, or something ridiculous like that. Alright. So, Bakuryu saw that spire. Where is... oh, that's why. I was wondering where Ace's Mutalisk flock was, and that they were not protecting their own base, but oh, they were just attacking Bakuryu. That makes sense. Ooh, interesting maneuver. Ace pulling back 2 Mutalisks, hoping to divert most of Bakuryu's Mutalisks, but Bakuryu does not bite, and instead these Mutalisks are going to fly back and pick off a drone. And now they can get out of here. Oh, they could have gotten out of there. Oh, they are both going to get out of there. And Bakuryu did not pick up 2 Mutalisks with his own. Like, Bakuryu, he saw that, then decided, I'm not going to be tempted by Ace's offer here. I'm just going to keep pursuing. But if he had taken Ace's offer of 2 Mutalisks, he actually would have killed more than he did. It's such a hard decision you have to make that quickly to try to judge how far away their Mutalisks are, how good of your own micro you have. Very split-second decision. Bakuryu got greedy, and it's not going to pay off. That being said, it's only a difference between like 1 Mutalisk. I mean, it's ZVZ, so 1 Mutalisk does matter, but not the biggest deal in the world. So what are the upgrades looking like right now? We have... oh, that's not a Mutalisk. There we go. We have 1 armor right now for Ace, and we have 1 attack and 1 armor for Bakuryu. Are both players going for more upgrades? Bakuryu is not. Ace is going for 2 armor. Once that finishes, Ace's Mutalisks will have a small advantage. A ever so slight advantage over Bakuryu's. It's like 1 extra damage a shot. Because Bakuryu has +1 attack, so on the first bounce it's the same. They'll both do 8 damage. On the second bounce, Bakuryu does 1, where Ace does 2, and then on the last bounce they both do fractional damage. So, very slight advantage for Ace there, but Ace, he had Scourge at the beginning of the battle. Is that going to be enough to overcome the fact that his +2 is not quite done yet? It will be enough. Bakuryu, GG's. And Ace, that's 3 straight games for Central Europe. Western Europe's playing for their playoff lives right now. Man, I'm not watching chat. Yes, Jumper, I did see Daigo versus Infiltration. That was, what can you say, man? Infiltration's a beast. He out-beasted the beast. That's ridiculous. Shoutouts to Street Fighter. Because, like, it's me, Jumper, and maybe 2 other people in chat who know what I'm talking about. That's fine. It's fine. You guys should all watch Street Fighter. It's a fun game. Not right now, obviously, because right now we have an even funner game to be watching, but I guess I did just say funner, and I'm okay with that. Alright. In the top position, IWL Ace. He is the green Zerg. Control X. Control V. Use. Turn that off. And Bakuryu. Well, let me just get this straight. 12 and 6 and ba-boom. Okay. So now Bakuryu, the loser, picked Destination. Now, unfortunately, this is ZVZ. Kind of hard to cheese in a ZVZ. Or kind of hard to not cheese, depending on your perspective. But kind of hard to do anything different in ZVZ. And Bakuryu doesn't exactly cheese. His mustache just has too much honor to allow him to cheese properly. So, this is what I'm expecting. 9-pool ZVZ is pretty much the closest thing Bakuryu is going to get to cheese. On Destination. I mean, he did 9-pool last game, but... Alright. And... Ace? Overpool? No. Over gas. Okay. Mixing it up here. Going with an over gas. Alright. Overgas has a slightly slower spawning pool than a 9-pool, but in the same way a 12-pool does, it's going to be out in time to defend against the Lynx. And it doesn't have quite the same economy a 12-pool does. You don't get your expansion till much later. What it does mean though is you're sacrificing the Lings just a little bit. You're sacrificing the speed of the Lings to get the very fast lair. The pretty much fastest gas you can get reasonably. I mean, I guess that's not really fair. That's not what I want to say. Because the 9-pool is like the same speed of the gas, but it's a matter of being able to use the gas. Well, overgas is just weird. It's a weird build, nobody ever does it. Except for old Eastern European people. Like Ace. He's old, he's from Eastern Europe. So he goes overgas. Alright. So Bakuryu Spire's on the way. And there is Ace's lair. He has enough money for a Spire as well. There we go. Similar timings of the Spires, so we won't need... I actually have no idea how old Ace is. Okay, it's safer to guess that if someone was good at StarCraft 2-3 years ago, they're old now. It's a pretty safe bet. There are not a whole lot of people who were good at StarCraft 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and are not old right now. Oh. Apparently John Voltaire says he's at least 27. Which would mean I'm spot on, and Ace is in fact really old. I don't know. If you don't know somebody's age and they play StarCraft, it's safer to assume that they're older than 21 rather than younger than 21. And not Korean. They're probably a bunch of young Korean players. Alright, so Ace, continuing the theme of the last game, just going in with a couple lings at a time. Those two aren't going to get anything because the Mutalisk just came out. Are the Mutalisks going to immediately go? No, the Mutalisks are not going to immediately go. Instead, defend against the lings. So certainly, certainly Ace is going to have enough time to get his own Mutalisks out and can pick off lings. Bakuryu not going to commit his lings though, so he'll keep a couple of them alive where Ace did not. And Ace is throwing down another hatchery. Bakuryu did as well, but he threw down his in the natural, which is a much more expected place. Ace going for the very late in-base hatchery. Now, he did have a small excess of gas, but not that big of one. So he'll burn through that very quickly. And he'll still be only produce Mutalisks off of one base. It does mean though that he'll be able to get out extra Zerglings. But that just surprises me because he's already thrown down a Sunken Colony. He should have the Ling advantage on the ground, going for an in-base hatchery, yet he still built a Sunken, and that was a late Sunken. Actually, the Sunken itself finished after the hatchery. That seems overly cautious to me. I think Ace could afford... Ace not microing his Mutalisks at all. He's going to pay for his laziness. Oh, man! Oh, that was a pretty dang big mistake from Ace. Using 2 Scourge on an Overlord that was already mostly dead, that the Mutalisk would have been able to pick off too, and Ace, with some big Scourge hits from Bakuryu, some big miss Scourge hits from Ace, is going to lose that fight pretty badly, even though he should have had a bit of an advantage there. Oh, that was bad. Okay. More lings coming in. All the more confusing that Ace built that Sunken Colony, as he's expanding now, which means that, yeah, the ling... I mean, this base is safe from ling around, but this base isn't. I really just don't understand the Sunken Colony. I think that the Sunken Colony was just being overprotective there. Anyway, we have 29 supply compared to 24. A little bit of a supply damage from Bakuryu, really stemming from that one fight, where Bakuryu came out of it 3 Mutalisks ahead. And, oh, here we go. No Mutalisks coming in to fight here. It is just Scourge and Lings trying to knock out the Mutalisks, but even if he hit with all of his Scourge, there were just simply too many Mutalisks there. Ace to back off. Ooh. Well, that's a nice hit. Wow. 2 nice hits. And hitting the 2 injured Mutalisks. There were 2 injured 4 full health ones, and he hit both of the injured ones. Either a really nice coincidence or very nice micro with the Scourge to be able to identify it and click it that quickly. Scourge do have quite limited sight ranges, so he had to discern it rather quickly. Lots of Scourge trying to hunt down the one other Scourge, and oh, Scourge on Scourge violence right now. And Ace committed everything to the Scourge, so he does not have any Mutalisks of his own to attack any of these weakened Mutalisks. They're all so weak, but he can't do anything to hit them. Oh, now he can. Okay, it looks like he's just gonna keep sending Scourge. Eventually, no. No, not eventually the Scourge will be able to win. Ace GG's. And here we go. Something that I expect to see a lot today. We have a series tied up 1-1. Ooh. Wow. We had Icarus, Destination, Chain Reaction as the map pool. Weird picks. Obviously, they didn't pick Icarus. Icarus just happened, but makes for some interesting games. Alright. So, on the right side as the blue Zerg, it is... not going to tell me. There we go. Bakuryu. Darn, so I do need to switch these around. Ace of Central Europe. And V. Alright. And that is a 9 o'clock, and that's a 3 o'clock. Alright, so on the right side as the blue Zerg is Bakuryu. On the left side as the yellow Zerg is Ace. And not a whole lot of fancy Overlord positioning you can do on this, or fancy Overlord patterning you can do on this map. You just pick your Overlord and you send it directly at your opponent. Now, I guess it's worth mentioning a little bit that most of the time you'll take your Overlord and send it to their natural. But not on this map. On this map, sending it to their natural would actually take longer, and the whole point of sending it to the natural is to be able to see something as quickly as possible. So you'll actually be faster by sending it to the main itself, and because the air distances are rather close, you can see what's going on pretty quickly. We have dueling 12 pools? We do. Dueling 12 pools right now. Alright. Alright. Clearly I have too many moderators in my chat. I'm gonna have to purge my moderator. No, I wouldn't purge my moderator list. Oh well, clearly the solution is to get more viewers. I need to get more viewers so that the percentage of moderators go down, and then everything will be fine. Yeah. So, alright. From the chat I've read, I haven't been keeping that good of an eye on it, but from the chat I've read, nobody said anything about the chat being on the left side of the left side of the screen, which means that it's actually the greatest thing ever. If there's nothing said, that means that it is frickin' perfect. So, you are all welcome for this. Clearly, your silence is indicating that this is a greater than a gift from God. So you're all welcome for that. You're all welcome for that. I'm glad I could provide such an amazing thing to you all. You're hoping for Skyline TVZ. Well, you are in luck. Because the next set is Skyline TVZ versus Eon Zerg. So, you individually are welcome for that. Not that I had anything to do with it. I just know that it's coming. And, ooh, it's going to be Bakuryu! Bakuryu is the first person to go for the little bit of Ling harassing. Wow! Wow! That's 4 drones! 4 drones and he only lost 2 Lings? What is this? That's horrible. That is absolutely horrible, and they're just gonna go in for more. 5 drones. 6 drones. Is that good game? Is that game over? Losing 6 drones, ZVZ? Holy shit. I'm trying to click on that other link. Boom. These ones have 5 combined. Get one more. Oh! I needed 2 more hits. Almost. Almost picking off that last drone, but still. Still. That's 6 drones. Harsh. Absolutely harsh. Okay. So, Ace is now even throwing down a Sunken Colony. Which... I like this Sunken Colony certainly more than the last one. I did not like the last Sunken Colony at all. This one's better. I still disagree with it. Under the rationale of... I know, excuse me. I don't like it under the rationale that you're behind. You're behind, and you should, theoretically, have the same amount of link production as your opponent. Given that you have 2 hatcheries and they have 2 hatcheries. You'll be at a little bit of a disadvantage because you need to remake drones initially, but eventually you'll be able to come back. You gotta trust in your own micro at that point, I think. I think you gotta trust in your own micro and focus everything you have on economy. I mean, I guess by making that Sunken Colony, he can make even less lings and put some of that money towards economy, but... I mean, he's Ace. Ace is pretty good ling micro. So... yeah, Bakuryu definitely needs to throw down that creep colony. The Mutalisks just go for it now. They can kill the creep colony. They can kill it off. It might be a little bit too late now. Or not. Or not. He can just lose a Mutalisk flying over the spore colony. That's cool. That's cool too. So, any vulnerable buildings? Doesn't look like it. Oh, this extractor is. This extractor is vulnerable, but that's it. And it starts to lose some of its vulnerability as Bakuryu will get Mutalisks out. So not a huge issue right now. Okay. +1 armor on the way for Ace. And is Bakuryu also getting an upgrade? Indeed he is. He even got it first. He has 0 Mutalisks. He has 0 Mutalisks, and he is going for +1 armor and a Queen's Nest. Damn. I just realized now that there's not a brace, another brace on Ace's name. Wow, that is pretty damn risky. To have 0 Mutalisks. Like, normally you get some spores up, and then you use the spores to cover up the fact that you have fewer Mutalisks, and it'll even out, and you'll be able to get up to Hive. But no, Bakuryu, 0 Mutalisks when he got his Queen's Nest up. 0. And... now we're gonna make Mutalisks? We're gonna get the Queen's Nest up and then not get Hive Tech? Okay, there we go. Here comes the Hive. Given the fact that he started that +1 so early and then not made Mutalisks, this is a long-term plan for Bakuryu, and he wants air. He does not want defilers, he wants air units. I really want to see him get... Man, I want to see him get a lot of different things. I can't even finish that sentence. There's so many things I'd like to see him get, and all of them will be fun. Oh, the Scourge, it was coming in for a scout, I think, but that vision range, there's no way at all I saw the Hive. Bakuryu getting another hatchery. What? He can't afford another hatchery. Going air units? We have Ace getting another hatchery at an expo. He doesn't know that Hive is coming yet. He hasn't seen anything. And right now it's 62 supply compared to 50. Ooh, okay. So Hive finishes, and you have to assume it's a Greater Spire, right? Okay, Greater Spire. Here we go. The upgraded mushroom. Where? That's not all Bakuryu's Mutalisks. He has Mutalisks somewhere on the map. There they are. Getting killed by Scourge. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. That Scourge still can't see. It's sitting here. It has no clue. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You can see the Hive. Nope, he's too busy microing down Bakuryu's Mutalisks. I don't know why Bakuryu decided to attack. He's gonna end up losing 3 more. That's not horrible, but man, there's no reason he should have lost that. And oh, the Scourge went in. Okay, the Scourge had to have seen the Hive. It had to have. I don't know why Bakuryu went in while the Greater Spire was morphing in. It's like you have no advantage. You don't even have an upgrade advantage. You're both at 1 armor. You don't have your Spore advantage. You don't have your Tech advantage. You don't have an upgrade advantage. There's no reason for you to be attacking Ace. That is the perfect time to turtle. And here comes Ace. He's +1 is not finished. I don't even know if he's going for it. But we're just going to have Mutalisk on Mutalisk fight here. The Mutalisk, ow, now pulling away from the Spore colonies. So it is just Mutalisk versus Mutalisks. Certainly no time for the Devourers to get in for the oh. Oh no, Bakuryu. Is Baki going to lose because he went for Hive? Don't rebuild it there. Rebuild it closer. It was already vulnerable in the first place. You just gotta build it back here. Alright, he drew him in. He drew him in. Another 2 Spore colonies and extra Mutalisks. That is enough to push back Ace. That's enough to push back Ace. There are 2 Scourge. Wow, the Scourge should have got hit, but they didn't. It's fine. It's fine. There we go. Okay, I was gonna say, you gotta pull back some of the injured ones to make Devours, and he did. Very nice pulling back the injured ones. Keep as many at full health as you possibly can here. Oh, can't afford to be doing that though. But you have the Devourers. Get them into the combat. That should be enough to turn the tide though. That should be enough to turn the tide. When does Ace's next armor upgrade come up? Or next upgrade at all? I don't even know if it's an armor upgrade. It's not coming. Ooh. Okay, that is going to be quite nice. Quite nice. For Bakuryu, he doesn't have to deal with an upgrade disadvantage, and he doesn't even have to deal with with his opponent matching him on tech. Ace is not getting a Queen's Nest, it looks like, unless it's at another one of the bases, but we got to be watching this battle first. Ace, he's splitting up his Mutalisks expertly to try to avoid as much splash as possible, but is it still too much? It might just be too much. Oh, man. Oh, you saw how tanky those Devourers were, and Bakuryu did that perfectly. He could not have done that fight any better, it looked like. That's another creep colony, and that's another creep colony. So, Ace is playing scared. Ace is playing scared because he doesn't have tech. Bakuryu is playing scared because he hasn't been able to win an air fight at all. And more Devourers. Do we now have an upgrade? We do have +1 attack. I don't know. Is +1 attack better in this situation for Bakuryu? Maybe it is. Maybe he wants +1 attack to be able to pick off the Spore colonies faster. Now realizing that Ace is going to be getting a lot of them. It's cheaper. It's certainly cheaper than cheaper than +1. It's certainly cheaper than +2 armor. Maybe that has something to do with it. He doesn't exactly have a huge bank to be working with, and he would like to invest a lot into Mutalisks if he could. Alright. We have Bakuryu at 70 supply, 72, 74. We have Ace at 64. And Bakuryu's getting the expansion up here. There is one Devourer morphing in, it looks like. Oh, there goes an Overlord. That Overlord is very dead. And the Scourge, where are the Scourge going to go? If they can land on the Mutalisks, the Mutalisks tend to be better targets. But no, going to just focus on the Guardians. Ace making the decision to focus down the Guardians, and it is going to be costly. You can't kill the Guardians fast enough to avoid the Acid Spores, and now Bakuryu, I don't think he lost a single Mutalisk there. He can just go attack. He can just go and kill. Well, does he have enough to deal with that many spores? Ace has a lot of spores. Oh, you gotta go, though. You gotta make something happen while Ace has nothing. Oh, man. I think Ace did a really good job in the first fight, but in that second fight, I don't think he did it properly. He didn't split out his Mutalisks to try to avoid the splash. Wow, Ace was able to make a lot more Mutalisks before this fight comes in. And where's the Devourer? The Devourer getting here, but it's a little bit too late? Is it too late to help out? Oh, man, a couple more Mutalisks coming in. They shouldn't be focusing on the Devourer. Don't attack the Devourer. Just attack the Mutalisks. There we go. The Devourer you'll be able to pick off when it runs away. Every time. It's slower. It's still pretty fast for a big area unit, but it's still slower. So you can get it. You can get it. Yeah, the Devourer is going to get one or two, well, just one last shot off because it couldn't live. Man. That's what you gotta do. Well, if you can get an engagement where the Devourers don't show up, that's probably the optimal thing. Oh, pick him off! Pick him off! Ace! 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 What are you doing? Stop using your Scourge on Devourers! It's not worth it. Oh, alright, going in for another attack. The spores have not quite worn off, so Bakuryu with a huge advantage here. And yeah, Ace is going to lose everything. And this time I don't think he's going to be able to magically materialize in a big Mutalisk army again. Only a 36 supply. And Bakuryu is at 65. What's Bakuryu getting now? 2 more hatcheries. Wow, 2 more hatcheries. Oh, Ace! Ace. So BM. No GG at all. And Bakuryu comes back from being down 0-1 to win 2-1 and tie up the clan war for Western Europe at 1-1. Alright. Whoops, gotta turn this stuff